Olá,
Bom dia!
and welcome to the Sleepy Saudade project.
Blinding sourdough. I can't see anything.
Anywhere you go, give it on. Anywhere you said, anywhere.
Hola, bom dia, and welcome to the Sunny Sourdough project. It is the spring flower edition, and it's just in time for the flores dos cerejas. I think that's how you say it in Portuguese, but cherry blossoms. I've come up to Alcongosta after dropping Carlos off at work just to film how beautiful it is up here. I've actually never been in Alcongosta during the blossom season, and it is stunning. Anything you can see where it's like a dusty white, and you can see it from Fundao as well, but anything that looks like a dusty white in the distance is a cherry tree, and it just goes on for like kilometers all along the side of the Gardenia. So I've started off in Alcongosta. I'm going to head down this road, although it is a bit treacherous. I've got to come through that little road. Hopefully I can do it. If not, I'll turn around and go back the other way. But yeah, I've got to go to Alcaide next, which is further along the mountain over that way, where I'm going to stop and have my little mid-lunchtime beer. There's a really great place to park, and usually those cherries are later blooming, so they should be even more beautiful. Some of these have already fully blossomed and got their leaves, and there's no more flowers left on them. Some of them are like falling off, but yeah, this is like a west facing part of the mountain, so these cherries are usually the first to blossom. Oh, it's just so beautiful up here. There's so many houses for sale if you're interested in a cute little place to live. And they have the annual cherry festival here every year. We have already done a few videos on those, but we will be heading back this year because it just makes me so happy. The cherry festival here is so cute, and last year got rained off a bit, so anyway, I'll walk back to my car, which is up this hill. Oh, and I'll see you in Alcaide. So on the way driving back from Alcongosta and Alcaide, I bumped into my neighbour, and as you can see it's quite a bit later. We ended up going for dinner. So I think it was her mum made like this huge big pork roast dinner, so I got invited round impromptu, so that's why it's a bit late, but it's kind of nice to see them in the sunset, I think. Seeing as spring is clearly here, I'm very much in the mood, if not tomorrow, the day after. Depends on the weather, but I thought I'll start planting some flowers for summer. I really want to plant more, I've forgotten the word, so herbs, medicinal. I want to plant more medicinal herbs and flowers, so I'm going to pop to the market, maybe get a couple of extra herbs, but I have all the seeds for my more medicinal flowers in the house, and depending on how the weather is tomorrow, if not Tuesday, I'll go and plant them. The weather is very on and off at the moment, but it is spring, it's April showers, that's supposed to happen. As long as we don't get another 50 days of rain, I'll be fine. But I'll see you tomorrow, if not Tuesday, but it'll be the same video for you, so don't worry about it. I'll see you in the morning when I get my medicinal herbs and flowers ready for this summer.
Oh my goodness. People of the interwebs, it is I, Carlos, aka the Streamer Man.
Seedling station. So after seeing all the beautiful lovely cherry blossoms, I'm very much in flower mode, and spring is really springing right now. We've had nothing but sunshine, the rain, sunshine, the rain, sunshine, the rain. It's like, it's really warm today. I'm gonna say it's a good at least 18 degrees, but yet it's raining, and then we get bits of sunshine in between, so everything's growing like crazy. It's definitely time to get some nice flowers into the garden, and I thought I'll make a whole video on beneficial flowers and herbs for us / our garden. I'm going on a bit of a mission to make teas, maybe some skin products we can make. Let's see how we go, but I've done some research and I've got a few here that should be really helpful for us. But first, I do have some oregano and some sage that I bought from the market last Monday. No, so this Monday, like 2 days ago. I don't know why I'm saying last. I do actually have some notes so I can actually remember what everything does. So if you fancy something that may help you or your garden, you can also start planting some stuff. Let's start with our sage and oregano. So oregano here in Portugal is, first of all, really popular anyway. They use it on the tops of salads and fish, like roast veggies, anything like that. It's really popular here. for that. I've had it on top of toasties, which is really nice, like a little seasoning. And I love oregano anyway, especially in things like pastas. We did have some growing last year, but as many of you know, our herb garden did get eaten by the puppies when they were little, so that's why we haven't got any at the moment. Oregano is also really rich in antioxidants, can reduce inflammation, it's got antibacterial properties, and it can also help aid digestion. So she's a good one to have, and as I said, sprinkling on top of your salads, anything like that. Pizza, she's lovely on a bit of pizza. That soil's actually, she's not too pot bound, this one, which is quite nice. I'm going to put some soil in her, one moment. So with my soil, as per usual for me, I've got a mixture of well rotted manure and some sort of earthy, natural, woody, what's the word? Vegetation based compost. I like a mixture of both. The manure is really, really high in nitrogen, and that adds lots of green foliage to our plants. But sometimes it can be a bit chunky, whereas the more vegetation based stuff, it's not as high in nitrogen. It is still pretty good, don't get me wrong, but it's better for things like potassium, and it's finer, so it's good for the roots, whereas as I said, the regular manure can be a little bit clumpy sometimes. So this should help with a mix of them. Should be good for drainage, good for nutrition, and we'll get a nice healthy extra leafy little bit of oregano going on here. So obviously this pot's just a little bit bigger than the one it was already growing in, and to be honest, I'm expecting autumn time to have to repot this, but that's okay. We've got loads of spare old not used pots at the moment, so she can stay in here for this summer. Terracotta is good for a lot of Mediterranean plants as well, because they don't like to be waterlogged. These terracotta pots will dry out, you will have to water every day, but she shouldn't get waterlogged in this. And oregano is a Mediterranean plant, or southern European plant, so this is good for her. Come on. She smells so good as well. I think it's one of the most wonderful smelling herbs for sure. And she'll take me back to my Mediterranean roots. There she goes. She does grow pretty quickly. She spreads out a lot. So yeah, harvest her a lot and she'll grow quicker. She likes a good harvest. She can go back towards the front of the house with the other stuff. I'm actually not going to water it. I have a little tray that has some water in it already because it's been raining, so I'm just going to plop it in there for a couple of hours and take it out in a bit. The weather, as you can probably tell, it's basically on and off rain. I'm hoping I don't get rained on today, but the rain seems to be coming from a westerly direction, and this is like, I'm on the east side, so hopefully I'll stay dry. The floor here is dry. We did have a shower just about 20 minutes ago, so hopefully I'll be fine. Sage, hey Sage. I did plant some sage recently, but as many of you may have seen in last week's video, it did get affected by some herbicide that unfortunately did drift onto our land. We didn't put it down, it was the people who manage the train lines. If you are interested, we're not eating anything until we know exactly what was put on. We're getting in contact with the train companies, so anything that's on that side of the garden we won't be eating for a little while, and we'll be putting stuff in pots for now. The other side of the garden seems to be fine, and I don't think it is going to affect us, because if it's herbicide the plants would look sad, but they look really healthy, and in fact it's growing too quick over there, so I don't think there's any herbicide. And I've done some research on herbicides. There's only one or two that you need to worry about for a long period of time. This was done back at the end of February when they put it down, and usually herbicides break down within 7 days, because if they don't, they can, you know, mess up entire ecosystems. So usually it's very unlikely that it's a long-lasting one, but we are double checking because I don't want to poison myself, funnily enough. Anyway, Sage. We did have one. She's a bit sad. This one is a variegated sage. Don't we love that? She looks a little bit sad in this pot. She's a little bit more pot bound, but she'll get nice big leaves on her soon enough if we put in her a good pot. Usually, again, pinch the top off and it will grow nice and bushy. I'm going to put it in another terracotta pot again. I've got my pots down here. So, sage. I love the variegate one, it's so beautiful. So, like many good herbs, sage is antimicrobial. So, she's good with helping keep down those nasty bugs at bay. She is also really good at help level out your blood sugars and cholesterol levels. Another thing she's really good at is cognitive function and helping your memory. I just love the smell of sage, and it reminds me of sausages in the UK. I love sage. One of my favourite sage recipes is a very traditional Italian thing where you get fresh made like ravioli. And I used to do this a lot in the UK because we used to have a market every Sunday. They used to sell this freshly made pasta. This little Italian woman used to make it, and it was so good. But all you need when you have a good quality fresh ravioli, not the dog, what you need is just a few pinches of sage and some melted butter, so you can actually enjoy how good the fresh pasta is. Just simple seasoning. It's really delicious to do it that way. I would highly recommend. Hopefully she'll get nice and bushy soon so we can start doing that in the summer. I plan to make so much fresh pasta this summer. I love fresh pasta, and in the summer it's too hot to do anything, so you might as well just cook all day. Alrighty, so the rest of the stuff that I'm going to be planting today is in seed form. I'm going to move that there because that's going to blow away. Yeah, most of the stuff is in seed form. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but it's from seed form. I'm doing things slightly differently. What I'm going to do is I've got slightly smaller pots, like so, and also the ones that I just got from those herbs. I've got some slightly bigger ones, but I'm going to try and see if I can use the smaller ones at first. What I'm going to do is fill the bottom with a good compost mix, but the very top I'm going to put on, don't blow away, that's not allowed. The very top I'm going to put a seed starting mix, just so that I could do this in little seedling things, but there's already so many seedling things that are going on. I'm running out of room, and I think in my brain what will happen is it will germinate. If I show you the difference, if you are new to gardening, do you understand? Germination compost is much more like fine, mossy kind of material. It just helps so that they can get their roots in and started, and it's nice and light. It can push it out the way when it wants to germinate. And it's very similar to, say, if a seed drops on like a forest floor. It's got that mossy, fine texture like it would in nature. Whereas compost, obviously this is a mix that I've made, but as you can see, it's much more chunky, bits of wood and stuff in it. Anything that's massive like that, I'll probably just go away. I'll probably just get rid of anyway, because that's going to take ages to break down. But that's the difference. So we want the top to be good for germination, and then once it's fully germinated and its roots start going a little bit deeper, she's got something more to feed from. Germination soil usually isn't very high in sort of nitrogen or potassium, whereas your regular potting mix will be. Let's get started. I'm having the biggest problem with this. It's borage. I'm going to put loads of seeds in. A lot of these seeds aren't very healthy. I did a seed test. A lot of them are floating, which is usually a bad sign. So I'm going to put loads in and hope that one finally germinates. Borage you do have to be careful with. It's got like a tap root, so ideally I'd want to move it before the root system takes up most of the pot. Also, I bought this in February. Only went out of date in January, didn't it? Taking the mick. I paid a whole 60 cents for that. Oh, we've got a train coming. Yeah, I'm not getting good results with this particular packet, so I'm not very hopeful that we're going to get a lot from this. Borage is really good for inflammation. You can add it into, again, like creams and stuff for your skin. You can also use it in teas and to eat. A really popular one is to add it into drinks for like a little purple kind of decoration. People say to add it into like little cocktails or mocktails, although I feel if you're trying to have some healthy stuff, maybe don't be having alcohol, but maybe just have it for fun. Because it's purple, it's also really good for bringing bees into your garden. We love that. So again, what we're going to do is fill it most of the way with our chunky mix. Give it a squeeze. Okay, I might need the hose for this. And then we're going to put a layer, so about that full. Hello earwig. A little layer of seedling mix, and we'll just lightly cover it at the end. I am going to get my hose. Just a little light. There we go, that'll do. Yeah, let's scatter loads, and then what I'll do is those that look successful, I'm gonna maybe just leave like one or two, and then I'm gonna try and plant it in ground, because that's really where your borage wants to be. What I'll do is I'll trim anything extra, anything that doesn't germinate. To be honest, I've not got the best hopes for these seeds. As I said, I'm really struggling with them. Let's see. Might as well give it a go. What's the worst that can happen, eh? Just a little light scattering. Probably do it. Ooh, she's gone aggro. I think I might just squirt the camera. This needs replacing for sure. That should do it. Alright, I've forgotten my labels. Okay. Yes, these are olive sticks. They're like €3 for the plastic ones. That's just taking the mick. So the day is 17th of the 4th. And this is borage. Good luck, my pretties. I'm just going to pop that down there. Oh, in theory, I should just be able to leave these out because it's the right season for them and stuff now. Next we have Alyssium. I actually didn't know that Alyssium is edible until I was doing some extra research on it last night. She's very, very pretty. Traditionally, she was used to prevent kidney infections and disease because she's a diuretic, so it helps like wash and clear stuff out. But she has a very strong honeysuckle scent, and traditionally in Spain, just over the border, it's used to top off salads and make things pretty. But the most beneficial thing about this is because it's got such a lovely honey scent, it helps bring bees into the garden, which will help pollinate all your veggies. We love to see it. And the seeds are in date, so that's good. Oh, I haven't put me little layer of this. The sun's come out. Oh God. I never know what to wear at the moment, whether it's shorts or woolies. I had full-on woolies on yesterday. So this likes to be 15 to 10. So probably just put 2 seeds in here. maybe 3, and I'll put them around the edge. And if I need to trim them down, then I can trim them down. She says, and Khan, oh my god, they're really tiny. Okay, maybe I'm putting a few seeds in and hoping for the best. But she spreads out quite a lot, and she like pours over the edges of beds and looks all gorgeous and stuff like that. I get the impression once you've got it in your garden, you've got it for life. So let's see what happens there. Yeah, they're very small seeds, so I'm not going to put a lot of soil on the top. In fact, I don't think I'm even going to water it anymore. That should probably, whoop, that was a bit much. That'll do it. That'll do it. Next on our list, we have something that I can never grow, and apparently that's quite common here. But I'm going to put this in a bigger pot actually, because they're quite chunky seeds. Oh, it's a weird bug. Get off. Get off. So, nasturtium. Every single veggie gardener I've ever talked to goes on about how wonderful nasturtium is. You can eat it. It looks really beautiful in salads. And it's really good for deterring pests away from your other veggies. So if you've got lots of brassicas like kale, broccoli, cabbage, anything like that, it's really good for keeping the pests away because it smells and tastes so delicious. The pests would rather eat the leaves of that than your veggies. Although, as I said, a lot of people like using them. Anyway, I might poke a hole for this. What I'm going to do is just do a couple in the middle because they are quite chunky seeds. I tried pre-soaking them, that didn't work. This time I'm just going to pop them in to a nice big pot and hope for the best. Oh, apparently, I read this last night, you can use it to make like a tea and then rub it into your scalp. Really good for growing your hair. Who knew? Let's give it a little extra on this stuff on the top because it's quite big. I want to bury it a little bit deeper. That's traditionally how it goes. Get it nice and snug. Ooh, very gently, gently now. Ooh, it's all or nothing, the water here. Okay, now it is time for calendula. I really struggled to find seeds. It's obviously very, very popular, but I managed to find them in a place I don't usually get seeds from. So let's see what happens. So calendula is really like an absolute powerhouse. She's good for your skin. She's good for anti-inflammation. You can make teas. A lot of people make it into like, say you can get some shea butter and make a rub out of that. It's supposed to be really good for helping speed up how quickly wounds heal and if you've got eczema, stuff like that. And the weather here doesn't absolutely numb. I don't know if it shows up anymore, but I had eczema all here this winter because we've got such like a big change in temperature. I really, really want this to help heal my skin. So yeah, if you want to heal your skin and look beautiful, this is the seed for you. And also it just looks so beautiful. Again, attracts loads of pollinators into the garden. Can't really go wrong. Oh, another thing she's good at, really good at helping period cramps apparently, so I'll let you know how that goes. Is that another train? Rude. That was an absolute beast of a train. Yeah, I've gone for a mix of colours and these are like a mix of orange and yellow, so be nice and bright in the sunshine, and in the summer they're going to look really beautiful. One that I'm really excited for, usually these are purple, but I spotted them in orange and I thought they're really pretty, and they're Viva seeds, my favourite seeds. Cosmos. Noodles is rolling around in the garden, bless him. She's another one, good for pollinators. I'm trying to bring more pollinators to my garden. I did suffer from that last year. She's high in antioxidants as well, apparently. I didn't know she was edible, but apparently so. I might scatter these around some borders as well, but if we can make sure we've definitely got some in a pot, then that I will do. I am thinking it might be worth putting flowers along that fence that we are a bit too scared to grow food along now. so it might be another place I'm going to put these. Because even if we don't end up eating them, at least they'll bring some nice colour and healthy pollinators to our garden. Do you mind? Jesus. All right, this next one is quite popular and it's a really good tea. So I'm going to do a couple of pots. It's chamomile. I think everyone loves a bit of chamomile. And I think we do have it growing wild, but I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to take the risk. So I'm going to plant some specifically around the garden so I know what it actually is. Oh, that's a really big chunky bit. Don't want that. So chamomile. Many of you know her because she's really good at helping us get to sleep. Reducing anxiety, but mostly people just know for a delicious tea. She looks like a daisy, but she's delicious, floral. We love her, and as I said, really great if you're struggling to sleep, which I sometimes do, as does everyone, right? She's great for that. So I think what I'm going to do is multi-sow and see how we go. That's my approach for these. If I feel like I need to thin them down, I can. I believe these are really small seeds, so it might just be worth, yeah. Really, really, really tiny. I might just scatter these on the top. Honestly, like, they're that fine. I think they are pretty good at self-sowing, from what I remember. They've got such a lovely scent as well. Oh, hello, water. I think we're going to have exactly the right amount of labels. I love it when the universe does that. Next, we have echinacea. Now, a lot of you will probably remember I did plant some echinacea recently. And it did grow. But I think she's become a little bit soft where she grew up indoors. So I'm going to try and start from some seed outside now that it's a little bit warmer. So just in case those ones fail. They're a little bit on the floppy side. They're not used to the wind and the wild of the mountains of Portugal. So let's try and make some stronger ones by keeping them and growing them outside. Not to mention that I just want loads of it. It's a really great tea to have. It's brilliant for keeping things like colds and flu at bay. Delicious tea. It's beautiful. You can eat it on salads again. Anything to make anything look a little bit more beautiful. I'm always here for that. I'm not here for the win though, let me tell you. Where did that go? Let's multi-sow. But I really want one plant per pot, to be honest. She's quite a chunky girl once she gets growing. I believe once it is in your garden, it's one of those you can just leave it. It'll self-seed for like the rest of time. Right, should we say 1, 2? Let's go for 3 seeds per pot and we'll thin them down. Cats are just walking around wondering what I'm up to. It's all very exciting when Mum's out in the garden. All right, last one, I've got some pink gypsophilia. Now, I'm not going to pretend that it's this super healthy thing when there's not really much evidence for any of that. There are some studies starting to be done, I believe, but as far as we're aware, she's just pretty. But she looks really beautiful around your house, and one thing she is good for is cleansing the air inside your house. So you can cut it and put it in a vase and it'll help purify the air. Plus she's really gorgeous. She looks really pretty, guys. She's like all little and pink. I love that. If you don't know what gypsophilia is, it's also known as baby's breath. It's used a lot as like filler in like bouquets. I'll show you a picture. Just like that. And you can plant her whenever you want. I think you can buy this as like already rooted plant, like I did with my rose, back in February. But the seeds were so cheap, I got tempted. And as we can plant her year round, I'm just going to keep trying until I get it right. Boom. All right, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pots of plants done, and 2 herbs. That's a pretty good go, and I'm pretty sure it's about to start raining. I'm going to try and take these dogs out on a quick walk. Anyway, let's see what teas we get from all this year.
Alright guys, thank you for watching this video.
Let us know down in the comments if you would visit in cherry blossom season next season, or do you know of any more beneficial herbs or plants we can put in our garden?
Muito obrigado!
Tchauzinho!